Good morning, students, and it is the lesson Journey to the End of the Earth for class 12 students for CBSC. This is the lesson taken from Vistas, whose author is Tisani Doshi, who is a sun-worshipping South Indian. 2 weeks in a place where 90% of the Earth's total ice volumes are stored in a chilling prospect, not just for circulatory and metabolic functions, but also for the imagination. She means to tell that she likes to worship sun god, and the Antarctica is one of the most chilling places. But if there is enough warmth, certainly it is a matter of strength and surprise for her. She also says that it is like walking into a giant ping pong ball, devoid of any human markers. There are no trees, no billboards, buildings, and one can lose all earthly sense of perspective and time there. The visual scale ranges from the microscopic to the mighty midges and mites to blue whales and icebergs as big as countries. The largest recorded was the size of Belgium. Days go on in surreal 24-hour austral summer light and ubiquitous silence, interrupted only by the occasional avalanche or calving ice sheets, consecrates the place. It is an immersion that will force the people to place themselves in the context of the Earth's geological history. And for humans, the prognosis is not good. Here, what is the meaning of prognosis? That refers to prediction of future. Time zone is a region of the globe that observes a uniform standard time for legal, commercial, and social purposes. Time zones tend to follow the boundaries of countries and their subdivisions because it is convenient for areas in close commercial or other communication to keep the same time. Here now I have to talk about that human impact that falls on this very vast uninterrupted blue horizon. Human civilizations have been around for a paltry 12,000 years, barely a few seconds on the geological clock. In that short amount of time, we have managed to create quite a ruckus, that is, a rough crowd of common people itching our dominance over nature with our villages, towns, cities, and megacities. The rapid increase of human populations has left us battling with our species for limited resources and the unmitigated burning of fossil fuel. This has now created a blanket of carbon dioxide around the world, which is slowly but surely increasing the average global temperature. Means carbon dioxide that is being created as a blanket of the world is really responsible for causing the temperature to grow, and it is the reason where we have to understand that is a continental drift, that is Pangaea, Laurasia, and Gondwana modern world that has drifted into such conditions. There are such Cordilleran folds that also is responsible for the formation of the Himalayas. Climate change is one of the most hotly contested environmental debates of this very modern world. It says that will the West Antarctic ice sheet melt entirely? There is a question. Will the Gulf Stream ocean current be disrupted? Yes, maybe or maybe not. It is also expected. But here, what is happening that it tells Antarctica is a crucial element in this debate, not just because it is the only place in the world which has never sustained a human population and therefore remains relatively pristine, live very unnerved place in this respect. But more importantly, because it holds in its ice cores half million year old carbon records trapped in its layers of ice. So here it is to know that what does happen here. If we want to study and examine all these things of the Earth's past, present and future, then we need to visit Antarctica because it is the place to be visited. Here are some of the things that I already defined earlier in the second video that are also described here so that you can have a real and very genuine knowledge of everything. So here the author Kishani Doshi, who has been on stints on ice program, she was working with on the Sokaleski. Here she wants to tell that she has exactly taken some of the high school students to the ends of the world and provided them with inspiring educational opportunities which would help them foster a new understanding and respect for the earth, our planet. It has been in operation for 6 years now, headed by a Canadian Geoff Green. Who got tired of carting celebrities and retired persons, rich men, curious seekers who could only give back in a limited way. That's why she wanted to just introduce those people who are young, energetic, and offer the future generation of policymakers a life-changing experience at an age where they are ready to absorb, learn, and most importantly, act. That's why this is the chance to take such men, such young boys of high school who are really the good workers. The reason the program has been so successful is because it is impossible to go anywhere near the South Pole and not be affected by it. It is to be blessed means indifferent about polar ice caps melting while sitting in the comfort zone of our respective latitude and longitude. But when the readers or the learners visibly see glaciers retreating and ice shelves collapsing, man can begin to realize that the threat of global warming is very real. It cannot be avoided. Antarctica, because of our simple ecosystem and lack of biodiversity, is the perfect place to study how little changes in the environment can have big repercussions, big reactions. Take the microscopic phytoplankton, those grasses of the sea that nourish and sustain phytoplanktons. You can see this is, and here that can also nourish those grasses of the sea that nourish and sustain the entire southern ocean's food chain. These single-celled plants use the sun's energy to assimilate carbon and synthesize organic compounds, and that wondrous and most important of these things, that process is called photosynthesis. Really, these are the creatures that are formed in this very part of the earth. So here, scientists warn that if further depletion in the ozone layer will affect the activities of phytoplankton, which in turn will affect the lives of all the marine animals and birds of the region and the global carbon cycle. So in the parable of the phytoplankton, the story of the phytoplankton, there is a great metaphor for existence. So take care of the small things and the big things that will fall into our place. That is our planet. Thank you, children. And this I will tell you something more in the next video that will be very useful to you. Thank you. Thank you, children. Thank you. It is the end of this very video. Thank you.